asalaamaaleykum mbokki déglukat yu tedd yi ñu ngi leen a gërëm di leen sant ci bataaxal yooyu ngeen ñu jox ci ni ngeen rafetloo suñu liggéey boobu noonu ñu liggéeyoon àllarba bi paase te nag ci àllarba bi ñu ngi leen isil waxtaan wi nga xam ne benn tey waxtaani kër gi la waaye tey ñu ngi koy isi si beneen kàllaama mooy kàllaama angale ñu ngi fi am waaju baax waajoo xam ne moom dafay liggéey ak ñun fii ci Lamawood TV and radio station muy Mr Linsia jógee bàyyee ko Ghana waaye dëkk fii ci Norway ak ñun Linsi nag moom ku xereñ la ci wàll wi nga xam ne moom la jànga muy ingénierie ak technical administration mooy suñu advisor bi ci wàll yu bari wàll media ak communication Linsi nag li tax ñuy leen koo isil ci kàllaama angale moom déggul wolof moo tax ñuy góorgóorlu ñu nit di ngeen ñu bàlla axa nag man suma angale yi xëj na du mel noonu ni ngeen ko yaakaaree waaye dinañ ci góorgóorlu bu baax pour ndeysaan suñu nit ñi nga xam ne ñoom it dégguñu wolof ñu mun a dégg ci beneen fànna ladies and gentlemen, as we usually say every Wednesday, we have here our programs called Ada Chosan in a Lamawood TV and radio station. Today I have a special guest in my program called Mr. Linsia. Linsia is originally from Ghana but living with us here in Norway, Oslo. He is a big man actually. He is a big help in this radio and television, and he have a very high education. He is an engineer, a media specialist, and specialist in the family issues. That's why today we want to, I will say welcome, Lindsay.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, and today our program we will be especially going in the area of the family issue. But Lindsay, I want to ask you some questions about the negative part of family issues in the diaspora and the negative part of the family issues in where we are originally from in Africa.
Yeah, first of all, let me say hello and thanks to all the viewers who are watching this program tonight. We are here in the Lamawood. Thank you very much. This question goes, you see, we are all from other countries and then mix up in this culture or a place where we didn't have any clue.
That's right.
But we end up being here. As we begin to like it, we still have problems.
That's right.
And where it has led us to now, I think our biggest problem is we are blend with the different culture.
That's right.
Back home, we were always saying that, okay, every younger has to respect the elder.
That's right.
And here, somehow, it doesn't exist. So that's the first place. And then second place, it goes with the, let's say, the parents. Some of the parents themselves don't have that kind of peace they're supposed to have for to bring children up. Their upbringing at home is sometimes very, very, let's say, not fair.
But what do you think, Lindsay, is the main problem of the parents? Compared to the African way of doing things, is the stress of the European stress, you know, there is a lot of work doing, you know, a lot of things to fix, and time schedule is very
Tight.
It's very tight, you know. Is that the problem, that you don't have the opportunity to raise your children as you want to raise them in Africa?
Yeah, sometimes it comes that way. But then what I need is, you know, God gave the children to us as, let's say, a gift.
That's right.
And whenever you cherish the gift, you take care of it. It doesn't matter how stressed or how much time you have or not. If you know you wouldn't have time, you shouldn't ask for it.
That's right. That's quite right.
That's the fundamentals. So let's say, for example, you needed a car, and you know definitely a car will be dirty, so you need to wash it. You have to have time for that.
That's right.
How much more about human being? When you bring up a child to this world, it's your responsibility. And with this responsibility, you need to find time, arrange everything well, and then you know that you can take care of that property you've got.
That's quite right.
So when we start to blame the stress and the time and everything, I think it is not the best way to go.
Yeah, but Mr. Lindsay, I have a question about compared to how we raise our children from home in Africa and here. Because from home, our parents beat us. But in the diaspora, the white people, they raise their children without beating them. And even we, who are the immigrants, we come here and inherit that attitude. We don't beat our children. But what is the negative part of it and the positive part of it? Why can we raise our children without beating them in Africa too?
Yeah, sometimes I think we think that way, that beatings will help. But I think, for me, I think it won't help anybody.
That's
because beatings, it makes the child or it makes the children begin to be more timid. They fear, and then they are always nervous in certain things. And then what I think for the first and foremost is like the children begin to be scared whatever they're going to say, or they are afraid of the parents. And if the children start to be afraid of the parents, that means they have nowhere to go.
That's right.
And then if whenever they have a problem, for example, from school or from their friends and anywhere, they get scared to tell the parents because they know maybe sometimes even some of the parents tend to blame their children for causing the problem.
That's right. That's right.
Why did they do that? If they didn't have done that or something like that, it wouldn't has happened, you know. But then the children tried not to discuss anything with the parents.
So you mean, if I understand you right, you mean that, you know, maybe the parents didn't give them the opportunity to explain their self or to express their self?
Yeah. When beatings comes in the way, the children are always afraid to discuss certain things to their parents.
That's right. That's right.
Because they find out that they are no more friends with their parents.
That's right.
So they would choose outsiders to be friends rather than their own parents.
Very correct.
You see. So I think beatings should be out of the whole issue. But there are certain ways to punish a kid. For example, you know what they like most, and you can just deny them from those assets for some time. At least it will let them know, okay, I did wrong, and I'm not going to do that again. And because of that, you know, they change.
That's right.
But when you start to shout on them and let them scared, then it will be another issue. But beatings is far, far, far from.
Yeah, I will understand, you know, some part of your views, because I was working before in the kindergarten in Norway. They call it SFO.
Yeah.
So, and the most part of our agenda is always you give respect to the kids, and the kids will give you respect automatically.
Yeah.
But I'm very sorry to say that maybe in Africa it's one part. It's only the kids will go give respect to the adults, but the adults will never give respect because they take advantage that, you know, they are kids.
Yeah.
Did I have it right, or what is your explanation to that?
Normally, we always say like, you are a kid, you have to respect the elderly. But in natural sense, we know that if you don't respect kids, they will never respect you.
That's
They
right.
will just let you know the kind of respect you deserve. They will give it to you because they think, okay, I don't want to respect this person, but because I will be beaten or I will be whipped, then I have to pretend.
That's right.
It forces people to pretend all the time.
Mhm.
And meanwhile, they are not ready to respect.
Mhm.
It is that's where they start to lie.
Mhm.
They change from how they actually are
Mhm.
and try to pretend.
That's right.
They are forced to respect you. Meanwhile, they know you don't deserve that kind of respect.
That's right.
You know. So when we say respect elderly,
Mhm.
if elderly person doesn't deserve that kind of respect,
That's right.
how do they go about it? They have to pretend.
Very correct.
And if you are an elderly person at home and you don't do the right thing yourself,
Mhm.
then you don't have to think that anybody will give you that respect. They will do that only when they try to pretend.
That's right. But I think we have a big weapon, to use. I mean, I'm very sorry with my language to use weapon as an equipment in family affairs. But what I mean by weapon is to use the religion.
Yeah.
The Christianity, the Muslim religion, or whatever religion the parents are, they can use the religions as a weapon to raise the kids. What do you think about that?
That would have been the best idea. But today, how do we behave ourselves when we get to our religions?
That's right.
We don't even, first of all, we don't understand what it means, and second, we don't listen. Whether we listen well or we don't understand, it's another kind of confusion there, because no religion tells anybody to misbehave.
That's right.
But what do we do when we get out from our churches and our mosque? We even behave different, as if we didn't listen to what our leaders were saying.
That's right.
And then the children pick distance from the parents.
That's right.
When they see their mother or their father quarreling with each other, they learn.
That's
And then where would they go? If you tell them even let's go to church, they will say they don't know why they have to go to church. And of course, they don't have to understand, because they know you are not behaving the way you're supposed to behave when you have gone to some place and learned from
That's
them.
right.
And if you call yourself a Christian and you are not doing what the Bible is telling you, then why and how can you even force your kid to go with you?
That's right, because it's the same issue what our imam, some weeks ago,
Yeah.
is what we were having here, in our program when I invited the Imam Ibrahim Asedi.
Yeah.
He was talking about, in this Quranic school where he was, they always teach you the Quran theoretically and teach you attitude practically.
Yeah.
Because it's attitude that is how you should behave to take care of your religion.
Yeah.
Because you can learn the Quran, but you must behave
Towards-
how to be a Muslim, or
Yeah.
how to behave towards your religion
Yeah.
as a religious somebody.
Yeah. Normally, that's how it is, because as I was saying, that all these religions teaches people to do right thing. But if we go home and never practice what we hear or what we've been learning, then it doesn't become any fruitful thing to
That's right.
anybody. And then moreover, when it's somehow, I can say, it's, excuse me to say that, but I think it is a disgrace when you call yourself, let's say, a Christian and never behave as the
That's
Bible is teaching you.
That's right.
That means you have deviated from what you call yourself to be. And then, second, the kids will look at you differently.
That's right.
They know you are wasting your time.
That's right.
And how can they respect you when they know you pretend, you yourself pretend from the actual course you've been learning?
Mm-hmm.
That means they also have to, let's say, pretend when they have to do certain things.
That's right. But Mr. Lindsay, we have been living here in the diaspora, many years now. So we adopt many of our attitude, we adopt it from here. And I mean, there are positive part of it and negative part of it. But I mean, to my points of view, I think the negative part of the European system is when you have problem how to raise your kids, they will just not come and talk to you as a parents to help you, to learn you, to teach you how to behave towards the kids, but they will just come and take the kids from you. Is that good for the kids?
Sometimes, you know, this is something that I think we all have to be aware of. For example, when you buy a car
Mm-hmm.
and you know you can't drive well,
Mm-hmm.
what do? You have to park the car.
That's right.
If you are not sure that you can drive well, then don't just go and buy the car.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's what they see. They know you are not good driver. So then automatically the police will seize the car or they take off the number plate. Isn't that what they do? Because when you have several occasions in the accident, you're involved in so many accidents, then that is your
But I
fault.
think I have argument about that, because I think when they take the kids from the natural parents,
Yeah.
and give it to somebody whom you know that they will just come and take your take your kids just like that. I mean, and some kids are going to be put in an institute.
Yeah.
You know, and people who are working there, they just come and go. They work
Yeah.
there for money, so
Yeah.
they don't even have that hard, you know, to be the royal parents of the kids. I mean, this is not. I don't have good experience about this. I'm not specialist about that, but it's just my points of views.
Yeah, you are right. Both ways. Normally, we say the main parents,
Mm-hmm.
they're supposed to know how to take care of their kids. You see, that's the first place. If they can't, the government steps in. They give it to somebody. And then why are you thinking about it again then? You know, it's like, you know, when they take your kids from you
Mm-hmm.
to somebody else, they are not, let's say, the real parents. They can't do more than what the real parents can do. You see, so they wouldn't care much. They try their best because they are just trying to help. But you, the parents yourself, must understand the responsibilities of bringing these kids out. And therefore, they need to have all kinds of methods to take care of the kid.
But my point is, Mr. Lindsay, when they take a kid and give it to another parents whom you know that they are new to the kid and they are not the biological parents of the kid, I mean, is that good for the kid? Because the kid is not matured enough to say that, hey, hello, it's not this what I want you people to do.
Yeah,
I'm a human being. I have my rights to choose.
yeah,
Because you are taking me to a place that I don't know them. and you are taking me to a place that maybe they will, they are not the people whom I love.
Yeah.
Myself, I'm talking from the kid now,
Yeah.
you know, because he will, even though the parents are beating her or him, and he will love them as a parent, and they take the kid from their parents and take it somewhere, you know that he or her is a stranger there.
Yeah.
I mean, in my views, they are bullying that kid.
When all these things comes, for what I think, I'm not about, I'm not for the, let's say, taking kids from their parents or letting them be in the situation where they don't want to be anyway. But what I think is, I'm always stressing on the part where by the natural parents supposed to know their responsibilities.
Very good.
We are living in a society where everybody must be free.
That's right.
When you treat your children fair enough, they would not go and complain to their teachers and the teachers to the police and the police to the court and all this process. I don't think if they haven't been started torturing, you know, and then beating, let's say, through that line, nobody can come to your home and take your children away. Something must have happened. And what is the cause? Why? Because many parents are not there for their kids.
That's right.
We need money more than the kids.
That's right.
Meanwhile, it is two gifts. First gift is from God. That's your children. Nobody worked for it. We got it as a gift,
That's
as I
right.
was saying. So the second is, when you work hard enough, you get money to take care of whatever you have. Okay, but why do you have to trade the two? Children for money or money for children? Are you there for the children or you are there for money?
But
So
the thing
if
is,
you don't have time to take care of your property, what happens? Somebody will take it away from you.
that's right.
So somehow we're looking for money, somehow we don't have patience, and somehow we think we love our kids. We should take good care of them.
But are you not with me if I say that it's the system that force you to do that or to behave some behaviors? Because, I mean, you need money to accommodate the kid.
Yeah,
Because
see,
you will pay your house rent, you will pay telephone, and the kids want fancy clothes, fancy shoes. You know, the kids nowadays, they are very...
I
they are
understand
very
that.
costly, you know, if you understand me right.
Yeah,
So you
I
need both of
understand
them.
that. You know, they will ask for anything.
That's right.
You know, they will wish even you give them whatever you
That's
have.
right. And it's
That-
not the government who come and give this.
No,
It's you yourself.
it is you yourself.
That's right.
But how did it start? Or how the kids start to learn many things from home? The kids understand their parents' situation.
That's right.
When you have and when you don't have, they know all these things. They are clever. They are not like, you know, children in these days, they are more clever than what we even think we are. Only
right.
they don't talk to us, so we don't get to know how they are. You know.
You are
But
very correct.
if you are discussing certain things with their teachers, you will get to know sometimes a little bit about that.
That's
But
right.
they know. So when you sit them down and talk with them, play with them, joke with them, be nice to them, you will see that they won't request what they know you don't have.
That's right. That's very
You know.
correct.
And why don't we have patience for them? They are part of our property. And when you take good care of your property, do you think it will be missing?
So
That's another question.
if
here.
I understand you right, Mr. Lindsay, you are trying to explain that before you get the kid, you should learn how to raise the kid.
Sometimes it is good, but then you can't practice with somebody's kids, you see.
That's
So,
right.
but the only idea I think we all have to have, that's my thinking, is we request for. Let's say you get married, newlywed, as we say. You love your wife, the wife loves you. You are praying hard to get children.
That's right.
Why requesting for those things? If you know your busy schedule won't allow you to take care of what you are requesting. As I was comparing to a property, any property, let's say your house. You take care of it, you clean, you do everything in it. Why do you do those things? And then you wanted the place to be clean.
Yeah, that's very correct.
You know, so the same thing goes to the children and taking care of all what we have. The children are what we have. God gave them to us.
That's right.
Take care of them.
With respect.
And when we take very good care of them, they become fruitful. And at the end, we will benefit from it. It's not that they should give us money. That's not what we're looking for from children. But we want even the name. You'll be happy when your kid is number one in anything.
That's right.
Even football, whatever. When you hear or when you get a terminal report that your kid was number 2 or number 3 or number 1 in some subjects, how do you feel? You see, so when we know that money is the first thing we have to spend all our time for and leave at the other things, I think we are doing the wrong thing.
That's right.
Because they are just human beings, and they are the first priority.
That's very correct.
You know, and if we don't take care of them, I think we're going to lose all what we have.
That's right.
And then when even the last thing I want to talk about is, let's say, for example, all what we are looking for, let's say money, and then build, and all these properties. Have we ever thought of, when we die, who are we going to give those things to?
You get the point.
You know, we are stressing for something that we think, I mean, it won't help us.
That's right.
Something that will help us is what we have to think for, and then work hard for.
That's
and
right.
that is our kids we brought to this world. And we are not doing that. We are stressing for things that can happen overnight. It will be gone. And even if it is not gone, if it is there, we are going to go. No matter what, we will go.
That's right.
And all those things we've worked for, who do we think that person should inherit it?
Yeah.
Is it our kids? If it is not our kids, who? You can choose one in your family,
That's
whoever,
right.
whatever, you know. But the thing is,
But that individual too, he will give it to his or her kids after.
even that is the point.
That's right,
Even
that's right.
individuals,
That's right.
everybody is struggling hard to leave something for their children.
For their children, yeah.
And these children are the ones that you haven't prepared them to inherit you.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Let's
right.
say you are rich, you work yourself hard to build a mansion or have a big company, a factory, whatever, and you haven't prepared your kid well to inherit those things. Why did you start then for? There's no need.
No, actually.
Because I have a kind of formula, mathematic formula I used to say, if you subtract the age you are in now and what you expect, you can say, okay, I want 90. I want to be 90 years before I die. And you subtract the years you have now, the one that is left, the rest of the years, what are you going to use it for? Are you going to stress again? Or do you want your kids to help you in between? Or you want to leave all your things for your kids so they can enjoy the life there? Or do you want to see your kids in the street doing nothing? And who's supposed to train them? Who's supposed to help them in their homeworks so that your kid can become the manager that you are expecting? If you don't have time.
Over.
You know, then if we know that we can prepare these our children to inherit what we have now, then I think we don't have to look for anything. Because if it is the only food and the clothes that we will wear until we die, we have it already.
That's very correct.
Why are we worrying then?
No, it's a big question.
You know, we need to have time for them. We need to take care of them. We don't prepare them not only to get a good jobs, but we prepare them to have a good name.
That's right.
For the benefit of our family. I will be happy when my child goes somewhere or my children go somewhere and they say, hey, this is a child from this family. Rather than, hey, don't let him come here. That, you know, this child, he is something. You know. Why? If the child don't have better training at home, if a child is not happy at home, they do all sorts of things.
Very good.
And it brings disgrace to the family, we ourselves. So me, what I would tell the parents is, whatever the child are doing or the children are doing today, it is our fault. We don't have to blame nobody.
That's right.
Because if you are nice to your kids, I don't think the police are looking for children to take them to other parents. There might be something somewhere we don't even know that it is wrong that we are doing.
That's right.
Then, at the end, when we realize that it is a problem, then it is too late.
That's right.
All what we are doing with our spouses, we have to take into consideration. Because when the kids go to school and they don't do well in their exams, the first thing the teachers ask is, why didn't you sleep well? Or all these questions comes in. And they will begin to tell all the stories.
But Mr. Lindsay, I have a question to you. Have you been beaten when you were a kid? By your parents?
Very, very fortunately, I was lucky one way or the other because lucky or unlucky, I didn't stay with my father. I stayed with my grandmother and my mother. And my grandmother was so close to me. And then I was also, you know, a kind of a person who are like, you know, a little bit shy to do things.
That's
know.
right. That's right.
So I was somehow lucky I didn't get through that. You know, and I was sometimes being, pampering a little bit, you know.
That's right.
Don't do this, don't do. You know how the let's say the old ladies, we say, and then the grandparents they always try to, you know, get closer to their kids and some things like that. So that's how it is. But I didn't get grown up with my father. I didn't even see him after I was, I think, 6 years. So I have gone through that kind of pain somehow, but I never, feel any kind of sense.
But I think, in my point of view, Mr. Lindsay, I think that our parents shouldn't be blamed too, because it's what they learn from their parents, because they were beaten too. So they don't have, to my understanding, they don't have an older way of raising children without beating them. Because we are lucky to come in the diaspora and learn something different than what we used to do in our society. Because me, I have been beaten by my father, by my parents. I'm very sorry about my language. But I mean, if I am lucky to have kids here, I will not beat them. Because I see something different. But maybe my father was beaten by his father.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that?
Yeah, sometimes, it's a generation thing.
That's
but
right.
We need to stop it somewhere.
That's right.
If we don't put an end, as I was saying, that if you think that your children supposed to suffer as you have been suffered, then why, you being a father then? Why did you bring them to this world? You know, and why are you doing all sorts of things you are doing today? You go into a job, you get up early morning, you're building houses, you having all these things. Who are you going to give all these things to? You know, it is for your children.
That's right.
You know, you want them to have better future, and so that they don't suffer when they grow up, as you did. You want them not to go through what you have gone through. So then, if your father beat you when you were a kid, why you also started to beat them?
That's right.
You don't have to, because you don't want them to go through that suffering and pain that you have gone through.
But my view is maybe you don't have an other way or an other technique to use to differentiate what you have experienced already.
Okay, let me give you a very typical and easy, as being from the technical background, I always compare things this way.
That's right.
Let's say, for example, when you have a car and the car stops on the road, what do? You call the people to come and tow the car to the junkyard, or you call them to repair?
Call them to repair.
Yes. So when you think you have a problem with your kids, what do? You don't throw away. You don't throw them away. You don't give them away to anybody. Who's supposed to be responsible for them? It's your responsibility. You loved it. You asked for it. And therefore, you have to call somebody who is experienced in that area to help you to take care of that situation. You know, you don't say, oh, I will just beat the kid because the kid is so stubborn. Who made him stubborn? Or who made us stubborn? The kid learned from you. Maybe you were just like that when you were a kid.
That's right.
Some of us has to go back and ask their parents who they were. You know, some people, we ourselves were sometimes wrong. We were not doing the right thing.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was the voice of Mr. Lindsay. You know, this is the Lamawood TV and radio station, live and direct. But Mr. Lindsay, the program today with Ada Chosan, with Gibou, is very interesting. You know, we can talk more than 1 hour because we were planning a time schedule, but we are about to go out of the time now.
Yeah.
So, but what do you want to say to the world? What do you want to say to our African brothers and sisters?
Yeah. All I wanted to say to you all who are listening to us today, we are lucky to come over here to express our views. We may be not right, maybe we are right, but the whole thing is we want you all to participate, you know, and then take care of your properties. And if you can take care of your property, you're supposed to take care of your children as well, because they are part of your properties. They are the number one priority that you have to take care of, rather than your building that you paint and all these things.
Yes, sir.
I think those things are just material things. These are human beings. We're talking here about human beings. So if we give them proper treatment, it won't be a burden for somebody else.
That's right.
You know, when your child is not good, it goes against your neighbor. And for example, when you see an armed robber somewhere, you know, why did they become armed robber? They all have reasons. And the reason is we didn't play our part. Even if we had, we didn't do enough. So we want you all to think about this. The children, it's our first, number one priority we have to take care of, rather than wasting all this time for money and for other things, and then at the end it becomes nothing to us. That's what I want to tell we all, that we have to have patience with them, and then try to be, let's say we should let them know that we are there for them.
That's right.
We are not their enemies, and we are not their, you know, friends only. We are their parents. And when they have problems, they can run to us, rather than we just kicking them off.
That was the voice of Mr. Lindsay, here in Lamawood TV and radio station. But what's happened? But I will use the opportunity to say that we, the Lamawood TV and radio station, we are hereby saying Happy New Year and many more to come. And I will give the voice to Mr. Lindsay to use the opportunity to say what he want to say to the guests.
Yeah, we thank you all for listening to us once again. And then I hope by the grace of God, we will be around to give you our views and then express what we know to everybody. Have a good and happy family homes.
Okay, then God bless you all and Happy New Year. Bye for now.